Hey, welcome to the Connect Show on Fox. I have my business besties with me today, Shauna Garcia and of course, Christy Jo Lightfoot filling in for Fall. And today I'm excited. Joining us this morning, she's a publicist, a brand architect, and creator of the very first docuseries in reality TV. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am talking about the T.O. Show. Please welcome Keita Williams this morning.
Hello. Hey, divas.
Yes. Hey, you're joining us from LA as our guest co-host today. So I am so excited. Girl, I'm thrilled. And I can't even tell you. I mean, I literally remember the very first time I ever saw you on television. So for you to be here on our show is truly an honor, Keita. I do want you to know that. So I'm excited. And for us here at The Connect, Saturdays are about success. So we want to level up with you today, Miss Publicist. And if you don't know, you can follow her on social at Keita Pub Diva, right?
Yeah.
Diva. So taking it back to when many of us, I should say, first saw you on the scene. And if you're in Texas or a Cowboys fan, chances are you remember the T.O. Show, which you produced, by the way. And I want you to talk a little bit about the pitch, the launch, and how you were able to actually bring that idea, right? It all starts up here. How to bring that to television. So share that with our viewers today.
You know, I actually will say this. My business partner now, as you call my business bestie, is Monique Jackson. She's my partner in crime and my partner in time. But what we actually ended up doing, we both used to work together at Universal Music Group. We worked for Russell Simmons, and we worked at Def Jam Music. And at the time, one of the things that Russell encouraged was for you to have your own hustle. Russell encouraged your own hustle. So while there was a grandiose guy named T.O. that I met, and he needed PR. I didn't have time for him because at the time I'm juggling clients from LL Cool J to Jay-Z, Ludacris, Mariah Carey, Bon Jovi, not on my own, but at the record label as a director of PR. That being said, we actually thought, you know what? This is a guy that needs our help. His brand was horrible. We all know T.O. was not considered to be, you know, the nice guy in the locker room. And those of you who are from Texas or even from around, you know, this is the days before social media where you could have your own platform to share your story and your truths. What we decided was how to make him somewhat of a American guy was we pitched him for The Bachelor. I don't know if you guys remember The Bachelor had a season where it was an athlete that ended up taking over. Yes, Jesse Palmer was the guy that they went with for the New York Giants. He was not just a backup quarterback. He was a backup quarterback, which means he was third string. We were told by an inside source that The Bachelor was not ready, even though they were looking for a top athlete. And he was top in his game. So the fact that they went with a backup, and we all know T.O. loves all the ladies, brown, yellow, purple, blue, white, black, polka dot, honey. He loves them all. So there wasn't a struggle that the cast had to be black, but the struggle was that the person they were choosing was going to be black. And someone said, they're just not ready. ABC's not ready to put not just a black man, but a dark-skinned black man on TV, having him kissing women that don't look like him. She was very honest. Fast forward to today, we've now broken barriers, as you've seen. But we decided, well, you guys don't want to give us a show, we'll pitch a show. And that's what we did. We created the T.O. Show, my partner and I, Monique Jackson. We created, we produced, we pitched it to VH1, we pitched it to E, we pitched it to MTV, we pitched it to Oxygen, pitched it all over. VH1 at the time took an interest, and so did E, but VH1 really was about understanding his brand as a man. And we accidentally, Monique and I, ended up on the show because we were so much in his life that they couldn't cut us out. So that's where it became Three's Company, if you guys remember that show. I don't know if I was Chrissy or if I was Janet, but he was definitely Jack. And the T.O. Show was birthed, and it was one of the first, Monique and I are the first females to create, executive produce, and star in a reality TV series. Most people think it's Shawnee O'Neal or that it's Mona Scott, but the T.O. Show preceded all those shows and became the godmother of reality TV in that space.
Keita, you're amazing. Oh my God. So you kind of answered how you got into the industry, and you mentioned some celebs. Who is somebody that you just wows that you got to be a part of as far as a celeb? Maybe like somebody that was like dream that you wanted to be around, and you got that opportunity. And then I also want you to tell us about your new project called Authentically Her.
Okay. The one thing I tell people all the time, being a publicist, PR stands for more than public relations. For those of you who don't know, let me just give you a little small glimpse into a Wikipedia approach into what PR stands for. In most cases, as a publicist, I do PR, which is public relations. My job is to help relate to the public information, branding, an opportunity for my client to have exposure, for you guys to know what they're doing. But in my case, as a PR specialist, as a publicist, PR can be personal rehabilitation. It can be professional branding. It can be a personal reboot, a professional rebirth. My clients come to me with everything. And I do have NDAs, which is non-disclosure agreement, where I know so much about my clients that it is my job to protect and cover them. So I do call myself a gatekeeper. And I've been the gatekeeper of many secrets and the gatekeeper of many things, which as a publicist, we spin. We don't always tell you the real. We give you just enough to really understand how we want you to see our clients. So for instance, I got schooled probably the first time. I worked for Rogers & Cowan PR, which is one of the top firms. And then I went to work at Def Jam. But what I will share with you is really quick. I don't know if you guys want to hear about LL Cool J, Jay-Z, or Beyonce. But
Jay-Z and Beyonce. I am ready. I love them both. Beyonce and I are sisters.
Okay, well, I'll start with the B.
Please do.
And this is really before the beehive was stinging, okay? So when I worked at Rogers & Cowan, we had clients by the name of Destiny's Child. When I was at Rogers & Cowan, I was a young, impressionable brown-skinned girl at the agency, and this was a very young group. So they gave Destiny's Child to me as one of my accounts that I worked on, which is where I met the entire Destiny's Child, as I call the children. While there, I was able to interact with all of them. Cut to when I went from working at Rogers & Cowan, I went to work for Russell Simmons at Def Jam, which is where Jay-Z is, The Rock. Okay. Which in that cross hybrid, it was a very pivotal space. No one knew they were dating. Remember that?
Yes.
No one knew they were dating, honey. The crazy part is when I accepted the job at Def Jam from Rogers & Cowan, I wasn't working with the group, but true story. I ended up going to Houston, had to do this amazing behind the scenes shoot with MTV. I don't know if you remember, MTV used to do behind the scenes. And while there, we were covering a few of the artists, which included Jay-Z, Ludacris, another rapper named Scarface, and a lot of the people part of the Rockefeller family. I get to a place called Papados. Now, we don't have Papados. Have you guys heard of Papados?
Yes, girl.
Oh, okay. Well, then there you go. We don't have Papados in LA. So I go to Papados, and at Papados, I walk in. I kid you not, it's my first week working at the label. And I'm nervous because, a lot of times when you're told with celebrity, they'll tell you, don't look at them directly, or, don't speak to them about anything, because that if you need to say something, tell this person. That stuff does exist. But for the most part, when you're in the inner circle, you just got to own your lane. So I walk in, walk to the back, and I see Jay-Z. I was nervous because, these are some powerful brothers. And so I'm new, and I have to go in to kind of let them know that it's time to go. Like, let's wrap it up. We need to get to this shoot for behind the scenes. And I get there and I see Beyonce. She's like, hey. So I sit down and she tells Jay, listen, this is my girl. Make sure you look out for her. This is my girl. Love her. This is her first day. I'm like, what are you doing here? I want to know, why are you here? What is this? That's when I found out they were dating.
I love that. I love it all. Well, speaking of image, Lindsay Harvey is dropping by. She's sharing with you this morning some social media magic, so you don't want to miss it. She's going to show you how to level up your Instagram feed by taking professional looking photos right from your phone. Lindsay Harvey coming up next.